I'm holding cold, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when
So I mean, coming from Connecticut, I mean, what made you move to Hollywood? Like, what was that like when you said, you know what, I'm gonna leave here, I'm gonna go to LA, I'm gonna get into this acting thing, And did you initially get into it, thinking that you were gonna be this action star, or did you just get into it like, okay, I'm gonna be an actor, just I'm gonna do regular, character roles or
I
whatnot?
plotted it out in a way, because there's part of me that says this don't make no sense. This like there was. I'm like, how can I control art? Like, how can I do that? Right. Well, let me back up for a second. When I realized I needed to do this, I was a school teacher. I was a school, a school teacher before I was an actor, and I used to go out for roles in New York and TV shows, commercials and stuff because it was in me. To cast back, dude, third and fourth grade, I was giving puppet shows to my class. Puppet shows that I created the puppet, the storylines, everything else. When I was 10 years old, my Christmas present was a 8 millimeter projector, and I would do my own films and edit when nobody ever taught me how to do that.
Cutting film.
Yeah, basically, I was doing that just on my own, right? So I've been doing these things. That's what I did naturally, without anybody telling me what to do. And so you step back and you go, oh my goodness, if I had that parental understanding and knowledge, just like you were talking about with somebody nurturing your basketball,
Right.
somebody can go, no, you should be concentrating on this.
Right.
Instead of me going through this and thinking, oh, should I be going into law? Should I be doing it? And then coming around, even though I got political science classes, but I want to sneak this acting class in as my 8th class. You know what I mean? So I had to hold on to the reality of, dude, this is in you. You need to find out if you could do this. And that's when I came to, I started working on in plays in New York.
Okay.
And then I said, yeah, I gotta do this. And so since I knew I was going to pursue this acting stuff, I'm going to do it with a business mindset. And I'm going to learn the business part of it. Because I know good and damn well, realistically, when people go, yeah, you're natural. Yeah, you look like you should be an actor. I'm like, is that? Because think about it. For blacks and whites, it's completely different. There is an alpha white male in almost every TV show, commercial, ever. Action, movie. There's alpha white males every place. But it's not so for black people. We are relegated to more character things. So if I was half the size I was fat, whatever, very characterish, I'd stand to have a lot more work because the guys who are like me, all you can hope for is, being Queen Latifah or somebody else's date that day.
Right.
On living single or whatever. That's all the more attractive or alpha males. That's all we could do.
Right.
That's all that was written for us.
Or the prison roles.
Yeah. But the thing was, to be more of a leading man looking,
Right.
that wasn't a positive. You still look at it. There's only a handful even now. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Like, I can name so many guys who, so that's one of the things. Like, remember in the 70s, it was on an equal playing field. Every black leading man, they were attractive, smart, could fight. The Fred Williamsons, Jim Browns, Calvin Lockhart, Billy D. Williams, Clarence Williams, everybody, not just one, not just City Porter. It was Harry Belafonte. Everybody was on that same criteria. You had to have it all. You had to be the guy that other guys wanted to be, and the one that women wanted to be with. Everybody was that. But after the 70s, we grew up with Denzel Washington, and he was the only one. Where was the Jim Brown and where was the other counterparts?
How did you say it like
where
that?
were the Calvin Lockharts? Where were No, it was none of. It was
Damn,
none
it
of
was
that.
just Denzel.
Think about it. Denzel.
I'm trying
and,
to think of some.
Denzel and who the hell else?
Wesley Snipes.
Okay. Do you think that's a good
So-
a good comparison?
So, what you mean in terms of alpha lead?
Okay, when we run down the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
When all of those alpha males.
Yeah, compared to two. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
All of those alpha males.
It's a vast
right?
disparity.
Where you go, and I don't want to, say anything negative, but let me put. If I start lining up, Robert Hooks was a bad motherfucker.
Oh yeah, Trouble Man.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
Let's start naming all those
Yeah,
guys, right? And then stick Denzel right in the middle of all of them.
Right.
Think about it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel becomes a little bit more normal
You think so?
in comparison to those cats.
I think it's a different.
When I say a little more
generation.
normal,
Yeah.
stick him right in the middle of that. Stick
Yeah.
Wesley in the middle of
Oh,
that.
I see what you're saying. Being that in the next generation, it was just him standing alone.
Right, but
Is that what you mean?
But because see what it is that Denzel has several qualities to him.
Yeah.
There's I hate to say it like this, but there was a whole different kind of criteria.
Mm-hmm.
They were, when I say alpha, when I line up those cats, the Fred Williamsons,
Yeah.
you don't go Fred Williamson then Jim Brown. You just don't.
Right. Right.
You just don't. Denzel becomes more of a Sidney Poitier in comparison.
I got you.
To
I got
right?
you. So
You know what I mean?
kind of beta compared to them.
Yeah. But
But I
I
think-
argue that Denzel
Mhm.
was our Sidney Poitier.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so when you line up all of those guys with Sidney Poitier,
Yeah.
you see how Sidney Poitier is a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so it hasn't been that way
Yeah.
in a very long time.
Mhm.
And then you can even look at the women, the
Mhm.
Tamara Dobsons and
Diane Carroll's and
and of course Pam Grier. And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's that now?
Right. Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. So to say that that's the heyday was in the 70s
Mhm.
it's like you go, wow, that is a trip because we have not been in charge of our image.
Right. So you set out to somewhat
Well, the fact
balance the
is-
scales.
The fact is, if they were doing the Michael Jai White story, they would cast somebody else
Mm-hmm.
if they could.
With Michael Jai White right here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I responded.
Yeah.
This is for real. There was a TV series that was getting put together, and the writers, whatever, they said a Michael Jai White type.
Mm.
This was in the description, and I'm like, I'm a Michael Jai White
Right,
type.
right. Like I'm still living. Like
Right. I responded to it. It's a new series, and it was going to be like a thing that was like a kind of like a new. They described it as like a new Miami Vice-ish type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
A Michael Jai White type. I show up and I see actors going, and they're like, they describe you. Why are we here? And I'm like, hey man, I go out for this thing, and
Don't tell me you didn't get it.
no, I didn't get it.
How you not gonna get it when
Michael Jai
No,
White type.
I didn't get it.
That's too close.
Because
It's too close.
Right.
Yeah.
We wanted the type. We
Yeah,
didn't say we wanted him.
Yeah, but then when it comes down to it, they'd rather have somebody that was a little bit less threatening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And at the time, well, and I guess I could say this, we're all good. Bill Bellamy was more of a Michael Jai White type.
Then Michael Jai White, huh?
Yeah.
How so?
Ultimate, because, they can go, okay, well, it's got to be this balance between these two people.
Mm-hmm.
And where if you go, oh, well, you're a 70-year-old white man, do you feel more comfortable with me or Bill Bellamy?
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though, maybe somebody has an irrational fear that I'm going to do something or whatever,
Really?
I'm uncontainable, but it's still it's still very real. There is for those who are insecure, there is a threat that that they can perceive, that
Yeah.
they can imagine and go, no. I'm much more comfortable in the room
Yeah.
with this person. And not saying, anything disparaging against Bill, but that this is a reality.
Right.
I have been pulled in by studio heads to help them find the white me. That literally happened
Wow.
several times. Oh, you understand the martial arts or whatever? We really need somebody
Wow.
who because I know the martial arts, and they want a guy that can act, but not me,
Not
a white
you.
guy. So I was very instrumental in a lot of things that Scott Adkins got,
Yeah.
because I'm going,
He's dope.
and I go, wow, y'all are in my face going, not you because you're black.
Right.
Even you're saying you want a white me, and it's gotten to a point that they can say that above board and think there's nothing wrong with it.
Wrong with it.